Hurdles here. Thanks for coming on today's episode. This week, like every week, I'll be talking about natural living and healthy tips that will get you to rethink how you live and what products or habits you can easily change to better your life. So let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Urban Wisdom. Well, the topic this week is pretty special, you guys. Whenever we're talking about health, attitude plays a huge part in that. And I mean, in this life we have, there's so many struggles, so many heartaches. And so this is a really special story I wanted to share with you. It's a story of overcoming hurdles. And that person overcoming these hurdles is Hunter Pincke. They say faith can move mountains, but perhaps at times mountains move faith. December 27th, 2020, Hunter Pincke, age 22 at the time, collided with another skier as he came out of the trees on a Blue Diamond run down a mountain in Keystone, Colorado. I like to ski in the trees, or the powder in the holes in and out of the trees, and so that first run of the day was relatively easy, Hunter, now age 23, said while telling his story. Except it wasn't. Coming out of the trees, another skier hit him on his blind side. He tried to avoid me at the last second, but it was too late. We collided. And then I ended up going headfirst into a tree at high speed, and that's where my injury occurred. Hunter explained he was wearing a GoPro as he recorded many of his runs, so later he was able to see exactly what happened. Wearing a helmet saved my life. Hunter did not suffer from any brain injury, including a concussion. He also did not have a neck injury, which he explains the doctors were surprised. But what the accident did do is it shattered my spine from the T4 through the T9 region. That's pretty much if you put a pointer right on your sternum and go right around to your mid-back, that's kind of where I'm at, right beneath the pectoral muscle. Pincke's spinal cord transected at the T6 area of the spine, and he currently has no feeling or function below his chest. This, however, is not where Hunter's story begins. Growing up in Wishek, North Dakota, Hunter went to school and was involved with everything he could. I tried to be well-rounded in high school, and I think that continued into college now. Hunter was the first person from Wishek High School to earn a Division I athletic scholarship. He was awarded a full-ride scholarship to the University of North Dakota, UND, and they've honored that even after the injury. He, along with his dad, Nathan, mom, Katie, and two sisters, Elizabeth and Anika, are members of Faith Community Church of Wishek. Spiritual faith has always played a huge role in the Pincke family, Katie Pincke explained. Fast forwarding back to the accident in the middle of Hunter's story, he very methodically stated, "I want people to know that I feel really fortunate to have what I still have." Hunter's referring to the use of his upper body and mind. From the beginning up on the mountain, I reached out, actually, with a guy that had cut me off. He was the one who called the ski patrol, and he stayed with me. The first thing I said to him was, "Excuse me, are you a Christian?" And he said yes. I asked if he wanted to pray, and so we prayed up on the mountain. That was the first thing we did, and ever since that moment, I can honestly tell you, sitting here over a year later, I have not worried about my future. Pincke continued, "From that time, I've just had this unbelievable peace. It might seem crazy to say now, with so many challenges and complications, but I'm more at peace with my future now than I was before my injury. One might look at me and say, 'Holy cow, look at this kid's life. It's been flipped upside down,' but in my eyes, it's just become clear. Throughout the recovery process and now moving on towards the start of chasing my goals, I can do pretty much anything anyone else can do. I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. And so my goals for life haven't changed. They've been modified. I've made new ones to add, but I still have a lengthy list of things that I want to get accomplished. I've never thought I can't complete them because I'm living in a wheelchair. It's more of, how can I complete them in a wheelchair?" After the accident in July 2020, Hunter spoke for the first time at his home church in Wishek. The church's Facebook page had 1,000 live views, and then over a period of a month, that viewing reached 20,000. His message was one of doing God's will and not worrying about the consequences of what's going on in our own life, said Pastor Brian Hendrickson of Faith Community Church. Katie Pincke said the support from the locals and other rural surrounding towns was phenomenal. "We have a Facebook group with more than 11,000 people in it called #PinckeStrong. which was started by friends in Wishick. Sparkle City and Ashley made all of the Pinky Strong shirts as a fundraiser to cover some of the medical costs. A lot of the teams from across South Central North Dakota wore the shirts last winter. It was really cool to see District 6 basketball teams wearing Pinky Strong shirts that Hunter used to compete against, whether it was Linton, Napoleon, Strasbourg, in Zealand, and his former team, the South Border. There are huge uncovered medical expenses associated with spinal cord injuries, and so the fundraising, generosity, and support for Hunter have been really humbling and needed for his future. Hunter's faith has given us encouragement as parents because when a child of yours has a traumatic event, you always prefer it to be you instead of the child, said Katie Pinky. Hunter's parents own Pinky Lumber in Wishick, which his dad Nathan, grandfather Eldon Pinky, and employees helped create adapted living spaces for Hunter to live independently. The family said this is something they would like to continue for others who have similar universal design and adapted living needs. When asking Hunter what his plans are moving forward, he said, "I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to have the same job for 4 years. I like to get involved with a lot of different things, and that's probably one of my greatest strengths. I'm well-rounded and have a little bit of knowledge in a lot of different areas. But it is also one of my greatest weaknesses because I have trouble saying no to people when they present opportunities." Now, Hunter is about to begin his final semester at the University of North Dakota and is a UND football team captain this season, which begins in February due to the COVID-19 changes in the schedule. He's on track to graduate in May with a major in mechanical engineering and a minor in math. Hunter was also recently named Grand Forks Herald Person of the Year. Hunter said he believes in miracles and follows stem cell spinal cord injury research, but he's not planning his life around them. But don't cancel Hunter out from walking. Many people, including Pastor Hendrickson, said that one day he will walk again, whether or not he walks on his own feet or whether he himself will invent some way to walk. He's a very determined person. And if it's possible, if there's any slight possibility he will walk on his own, he will do it. Now, if you'd like to get updates about Hunter Pinky, please follow #PinkyStrong on Facebook. And you guys, I wanted to read this. After I interviewed Hunter, he was it's phenomenal. Someone who's gone through so many trials and surgeries has such a positive attitude. And Hunter also does speaking for schools, for teens, for camps. So he's taking his injury and he's using it in a positive way that can help impact others. And I guess that is the overall message today, that no matter what has happened to you in your life, if you can take your attitude, turn it around to help somebody else, I mean, isn't that the goal in life, is to reach out to people and help them? And not only will it help improve your state of being, whether you're a little depressed, but you know what, you open up to somebody and share something that could help them turn their lives around, and I guarantee you, your health will improve. Because a lot of health issues are mental issues where people just kind of suffer in silence. And if you can do something positive for somebody else, then your mental capacity and just way of thinking will change. So you guys, for this week, I want you to really think about that as far as, whose lives can you impact? And how can you change your attitude just a little bit, even if it's for your children, your wife, your husband, immediate family, so that they know you love them, and they also know that, you know what, he's got this kind of attitude that's contagious, and I want that too. So without further ado, you guys, I love you, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Urban Wisdom and Natural Living. Tune in next week, where I'll broadcast live every Monday morning at 8 a.m. If you miss it live, hold those tears and head on over to my blog, which is heatherearles.com. That's Heather, EARLES.com. There you can have 24/7 access, or right here on iTunes. If you want to follow me on social media, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Have a healthy week.